Many thanks for staying with us on the Rise News Day. We now cross live to Awka, Anambra State Capital, where the Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo is set to flag off Operation Feed Yourself as a panacea to the ongoing hunger protest.
No state anthem, no, please. Please, a short prayer by Madam Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget.
In the name of the Father, Jesus Christ doing one.
Let's get seated. No wasting time, because Mr. Governor has always told us that Anambra State is an agenda with a deadline. Woman on Ibo, woman on Ibo, Ibona Kubo Anambra Gakubo, Magana Governor Bolani, Budoma, Budogo. All right, because I got Nabatalili, Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor, in the Anambra, they have be counted as those who are hungry. Junction, let me find us in a way of goodwill message. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite for Agriculture for his Foster Ihejiofo, please. Open remarks.
Mr. Governor, the governor, hardworking farmers, stakeholders and dignitaries here gathered. I am elated here to you to introduce mammoth crowd that has gathered because they heard on the news that, as usual, you've thought through the challenge that is facing our nation and indeed our state, and you have something to tell in the Anambra and in the Nigeria, for that matter, that is in line with solution agenda of your administration. In the Anambra Ibom and Nigerians, Anambra is blessed with a governor whose mind is ever viral and working. And on etinye uchu n'ọrụ and nke ka nke na ọ na-eji egwu Chineke na etinye n'ọrụ ọ na-arụ. So Mr. Governor has something today he's going to be telling us that is progressive, something that will make a difference, that will bring comfort in this time of crisis. Mr. Governor, we have several groups of people gathered here, and as you would have noticed when you are around and greeting, we have the Anambra Asatu youths from the 179 communities, the chairperson, lady and man, they are all here. The youth leadership of our great party, All Progressive Grand Alliance, they are all here gathered. And we have also youths in their hundreds from Nanda Azikiwe University, the Faculty of Agriculture. They are here gathered because they heard Mr. Governor has a solution he's proposing. We have Ultimate Business Women and Farmers Association up there. And we have Solution Ladies, they are here. And we have dignitaries from the rank and file of Anambra here gathered because Hanon Kefu that the solution government has something to say about the hardship that we are facing in the country today. And because I know that Ministry of Agriculture, which is put in my hands, is the country. And the Ministry of Agriculture are here in their various departments, and we are ready to listen to Mr. Governor, harness the solution and put work to bring joy when others are crying. Thank you, Mr. Governor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Put your hands together for him. Mr. Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ejiofor. Now, Mr. Governor, there are testimonies on homestead farming. But please, I've been directed to let everyone know that when you come out to talk, please, 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. This is a testimonies on homestead farming. And I have to start with the Secretary to the State Government of Anambra State. Yes, Professor Solo Ositadimma Chukwulobelo. Okay, now, others that will join him, Head of Service. Yes, Barrister Theodora Okigwebe, please come out. Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Ifeolu Binabo. And then Jotech Agro, are you here? Jotech Agro, please come. Elwin Foods, then Food Soldiers. Food Soldiers, where are you?
Here. And right now, I am feeding 10 families out of my harvest with Gary. 10 families are feeding from the Gary that on my farm. In January this year, I decided to try breeding chickens. I started with 20. That first attempt, I lost about 13. And I was able to also share to families. Right now, I bred 50. And out of the 50, I lost only 3. I was left with 47. I kept 10 for myself, and I have also shared the remaining to other people. So I want to encourage to go to farm in order to feed. In my house, I have bags where I planted vegetables because I couldn't imagine somebody asking 2,000 naira to go to buy vegetable worth of 200 naira. So I have all those in my bags now. If the other one, Utazi for so you can start and in 15 minutes pepper soup will be ready. So I encourage everyone to engage in ventures like this so that hunger will run away from Anambra. Thank you so much. Anambra. Ngozi Chuma with the album commissioner for and the Anambra man, Anambra farmer. Really, we are raised catfishes every year, and snails. Presently, we have more than 14,500 snails, and the hatchery. We hatch our catfish, and we are also into poultry. We produce 120 crates of egg every day, and we have broilers. That is the parent stock. So farming is a good thing, and Mr. Governor is here to introduce Anambra into the best. Food is life. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Governor, the Deputy Governor, Mama Ndewo, Afambo, Mr. Joseph Okonkwo Dodge, Abmonyomo, Rice Kainako. Nambido, honor that promoter tata, Kaiwego Governor Hainaro. Today, Rice Ainako, Mania, and Webuku before I saw Bugia, and Ako Rice, where rice meal. Okay. I'm a rice producer in more local government area. Before I started as For today, I have my rice unit. All of them based in Anambra, Ayambelum in Anambra State. And most of the machines that to have as difficulty, I have them today. I have my tractor. I have combine harvester. This year I cultivated up to 40 hectares of rice. I believe owner will sharing rice again. Like I really want to supply the whole rice that he will use. So I encourage my fellow farmers in Anambra State to embrace agriculture. I don't know what food is sold in the market because I don't buy them. For my rice, I have my yam, cassava, and others. If you leave me here, I will tell you more things about what we do. Thank you very much.
Mr. Governor, sir. My Deputy Governor, and my Mama Anambra, good afternoon all. Yes, my name is Erwin Anoro. I'm a farmer in practical, and I'm also a farmer in processing and packaging. By the grace of God, we have exported from Anambra State. It was in 2020, the lockdown nearly dealt with us so bad that our supply chain was disrupted because we accessed the sesame from the north. But we are not able to have our raw material at our processing plant. So we have to devise a means and strategy to start production in Anambra. So by that end of 2020, we were able to produce sesame seed that we can call made in Anambra and process and produce in Anambra State. By the grace of God, we have our facility at the incubation center funded by the federal government, science and technology. We process, where we produce, and we package and market our sesame seed in a retail pack for consumer goods. And also we supply to supermarkets and malls within our Anambra and outside Anambra State. And today we also devise, because sesame seed is a drought-resistant crop, like every other crop. It doesn't need much water. It doesn't need much, even the cattle does not attack it, as people normally say that cattle attack their plant. Sesame is one of the best plants you can plant at the time where there's no rain. Even if it doesn't have any rain within 1 month, it can still survive. So that's the money I have for sesame seed. We also devising a means to produce ginger in Anambra State. We are doing it at a trial stage now in Ayamelum in Ifeanyi. That's what we are doing. We are doing it soilless system. We don't need to touch the soil. The soil will be at its pace. We just leave the soil. We use another biomaterials to produce ginger and get it satisfied organically. And
His Excellency, Mr. Governor, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Al-Hassan Mohammed. I'm from Kogi State. I'm a graduate in agriculture. My testimony is that while I was in 300 I decided to go into farming, and I planted a hectare of land, farm rice. So from the farm, I was able to make 588,000 naira as a 300 level student. So with that money, I was able to see myself through the university, and now I am a graduate and on the under the leadership of Dr. Foster Ihejiofo, the Commissioner for Agriculture. Right now, I'm farming ginger, soybean, sesame, and it's all purely organic. And I dare say that that's the decision I've ever made.
While in university, I'm a fresh graduate from Anambra University. I started poetry in my second year. So little by little, jokingly, that farm funded me through school. So while I was doing it, other people were just looking at me. They were, what is this boy doing? Don't you like chilling and all that? But we were making good money from what we were doing. From time to time, we formed a couple. And as a student cluster, we ventured into vegetable, cucumber, pepper, and the rest of that. And we were making good money from what we were doing. So I can tell you for free that the solution to Nigerian problem is agriculture. Not just any agriculture, but organic agriculture. That is what will lead us through. I can tell you the only disadvantage I had then was that I have to manage my time, like not like other students, but I came out with flying colors. And most of those people that don't have anything doing in school, most of them are still sorting themselves out in the university. Okay, so agric is the solution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Governor. There are so many people still lining up wanting to testify, but for want of time, we're going to be demonstrating the possibility of farming all year round. When you walked around, you saw bags over there, and Mr. Obi and Bombo from Engineering Department of Ministry of Agriculture. Will you please come forward? They are going to be showing us how it is possible that rain will not keep us from producing. You can invest in vegetables and fruits all year round using a common technology which we call drip irrigation. You use waste product to do your farming, waste bag, waste water bottle, you set it up and you can have vegetables and fruits produced year round. I'd like camera, they do the demo. Can you go ahead and have the microphone?
Mr. Governor, this is a simple demonstration of homestay farm. Once you have a compound, you can set this thing up in your compound. We have water which we use to irrigate the bags. So this water can last for 4 days. You can travel and come back, and your crop is still growing firm. It doesn't lack water. During the dry season, you can plant. All year round, you can plant. In your house, any space is in your house, you can do it. It's very simple. The materials used are locally sourced. There's nothing. It's not expensive. Then you get a good harvest. Use your waste from the kitchen. You can have all this. Thank you.
Anambra, solution Anambra. Check.
You can use to puncture, maybe you can use nail and puncture it. It will be dripping. Gradually, it can last up to 4 days. Even a week. Once you have your water, you don't have issue. During the dry season, you produce whatever you want in your compound, at the back, front, any space that is available. Any space that is available. You can do this in the city. You can do it in the city. So you don't have to spend much. This bank cement. You can pick it. It's not expensive. Okay. Okay, it's finished. Homestay farm. Home season. You don't need, whether it's dry season, even if you cannot.
All right, thank you very much for that demonstration. Your Excellencies, what we have just seen is a demonstration of what our people know as Ugbo Azono, which is a concept you have been teaching even before now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today for the flag off of what His Excellency calls Operation Farm to Feed. As was said, Operation Farm to Feed, as was said by the earlier speaker, that while there is a casting down nationally, we have a lifting up in Anambra State, courtesy of His Excellency, the Solution Governor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, permit me to invite a man and introduce to you a man who actually needs no introduction, a man who has carved his name in our hearts to speak to us on a very important issue for which we are all here gathered today. Please join me as I welcome and invite His Excellency the Governor of Anambra State. Saludo Sieva. Saludo Solution. Solution Adegona Nambara. Nambara Diniano. Kanye Foro Saludo. Tali Wamba Wagodulani Wegaba. Solution Abiago. Solution Abiago. Nanambara. Take the Anambra Kweno. Yeah. Anambra Kweno. Yeah. Anambra Mono. Yeah. Zoano. Yeah. Kachano. Yo. The Deputy Governor of Anambra State, the First Lady of Anambra, Mama Anambra, Enokuyae. Yes, you taught us to farm, and we are now in the farm. Members of the EXCO, all the farmers here, representatives of our youths from all the communities in Anambra here, students, the Women Farmers Association, the professional farmers here, ladies and gentlemen. What is that? We have come as part of history. We are here as part of our own response to the ongoing conversation in the country today. That some are protesting, some parts of Nigeria. Anambra State is not protesting. And I want to use this opportunity to thank the Anambra and to thank all our youths, to thank Anambra youths who have maintained the peace, going about their businesses. All the markets are open, everybody going about their businesses. What on the Anambra, the youths have resolved that they want to take their destiny in their own hands, to take positive steps, to move their state, to move the country forward. They believe that we can do something about the crisis or the challenges that we have, that everybody has some role to play. They are not protesting not because they don't feel the pain, but because I want to be part of the solution. As youths are saying, it is good to complain, good to protest, but better to do something. That's what our youths are saying. And I want to commend you that the state has not experienced anything. Nobody's gathered anywhere, let alone protesting.
going about their normal business, and we'll hear in the news that something is happening somewhere else. Fellow Nigerians, Anambra, like I said, we've come to launch something very important. But a bit of context is necessary. I encourage everyone to Google and either read the lyrics or listen to the song sung by the legendary Sonny Okosun, 1984, that's 40 years ago, about Nigeria, entitled Which Way? That song summarizes, you will think that song was sung yesterday. It simply tells us that Nigeria has been singing songs of lamentations for decades. It didn't start today, but what we have come here to say is that it is time for action. After singing songs of lamentations for decades, 40 years ago, he sang about the fact that we neglected agriculture, we neglected the then Green Revolution, and he said that was our doom, that we need to get back to it. He challenged us that all of us must come together to save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Sonny Okosu challenged all Nigerians and told us that every little thing that goes wrong, we blame the government without knowing that we are all part of the government. And he said we should all come together and save Nigeria. Today, what we have come to launch is the issue of citizens' action, collective citizens' action in partnership to eradicate hunger once and for all in Nigeria. We'll still remember that 1984, when he sang this song, was the era when we had the massive austerity measures from 1982 to 85. There was the issue of queuing up to buy essential commodities. You had to queue up for hours and for days to have access to buy, even when you had the money, to buy essential commodities such as sugar, salt, even detergents, rice, vegetable oils, and so on and so forth. We had to queue up. And since then, we have been lamenting about hunger. Every year we lament about hunger. And it is now time to do something. Listen to Sonny Okosun's song 40 years ago. And he puts it all in context. Today, like we said, we want to launch an initiative to turn our challenges into opportunities. Our challenges are many as a people. Yes, there is hunger in the land. Yes, there are pains. We feel it. Everybody feels it. But while it is good to complain about them, everybody can do something about them. This is citizen action against hunger in partnership with government. In partnership with government, yes, our charge is to be the solution you want to see. It's good to complain or protest, but better to be the solution. Again, everyone can do something positive. Yes, government can do a whole lot, and it is in the interest of government to do something about food, agriculture for everyone. Whether we are dealing with the issue of ensuring food security is the duty of government to ensure food security. But also, food inflation is a major component of headline inflation. So, if we want to bring inflation down, we start by bringing food prices down. But today, we want to address how we can collectively bring food prices down. And so, to have a healthy nation, food security, address poverty, food supply is critical. And government can do a whole lot. Don't get me wrong. Government can do a whole lot to enable this process. Government can address issues of policies and incentives, including access to cheap capital, for cheap financing for agriculture, for those involved in commercial agriculture, improve seedlings and some subsidized inputs, rural infrastructure to minimize post-harvest losses and improve supply chain to the urban centers. Yes, government can and should do something about security that stops farmers from going to farm and so on, irrigation schemes, and so on and so forth. That's quite a long list of what government can and should do. And we are about it. I'm in part of the governing elite, and that's why I am out here, that we must do something. And we are doing quite a lot here in Anambra to these processes to happen. Of course, as you are aware, about 3 weeks ago, we again shared about which will completely bring poverty out of Anambra ecosystem, a new industrial ecosystem and wealth creation in the state. We are embarking on those, and then, of course, assisting smallholder farmers in various other ways. But today, we have come to launch a major initiative which we call the Farm to Feed campaign. Farm to Feed campaign. This is a simple strategy, a simple partnership deal between government at all levels and citizens to end hunger and ensure massive supply within the next 12 months. We ensure end to hunger on a sustainable basis. Government will do the bit that it can, but the citizens have a lot to do. Government can provide all the incentives and whatever, but if there are no citizens to take up these incentives, if there are no citizens, no youths that can take their stuff and farm, if there are no grandmothers that can do the farming even on their balcony or the backyard and plant something, then it will all come to naught. And I want to say, even for our public servants, the only job Hello? Yes. You know, we are doing this in a farm. The event is in a farm, so never mind, there will be all manner of disruptions. The only job allowed by our constitution for public servants to do as part-time is farming. So everybody is allowed to farm, whether you are from governor, deputy governor, commissioners, head of service, and as we've had fantastic testimonials here. My secretary to government is a professor. He has his own big farms. He's a commercial farmer as well. He's allowed by the Constitution. Our head of service now has told her story. I heard the story of the Commissioner for Women Affairs, who says the First Lady of Anambra took her to farm. And the First Lady of Anambra was harvesting her own gardens and what she farmed the other day. And I think we won't need to buy cucumber and buy vegetables or buy fruits and so on for the next several months to come. Thank you, the First Lady. I think you are leading the way in that regard. Let's turn farming, agriculture as a new national pride. Operation Farm, Operation Show Your Farm, Operation Show What You Cultivate. So the next time somebody says there is hunger in the land, my response is, yes, I agree. But what are you doing about it? What have you done about it? Do something about it. Urban agriculture with farming in sacks. We have just been shown sample of that and how that could be done. Even on the what we call balcony or the veranda, you can put the sacks there and plant onubu, plant the vegetable there, and they will grow like the flowers where you'll be plucking them to eat. Get something done. We'll mainstream this to become the new national, to become the new normal. Everyone can produce, and hear this, if everyone can produce in a year just enough of one thing to eat, for the family to eat in one day, whether it is vegetables that your family can eat in one day, you produce it, or enough onions, or enough food, pepper, tomatoes, just enough for your family to use for one day in a year out of the 365 days. I can tell you the pressure on food prices in the market will massively drop. If you can't feed the nation, at least feed yourself or even your family for just one day by what you can produce. Let us turn every vacant piece of into a farm. Even if it is 5 square meters, just a little bit of where I'm standing here now. Put something there. As we were driving out, the First Lady was showing me some farms that used to be places that used to be some bushes and so on. Even as you drive out of the Governor's Lodge, some bushy neighborhoods, to convert all those neighborhoods to become farms of vegetables and so on and so forth. And we're just admiring them. Rent a space if you can, but plant something. I will say to you, here in Anambra, we will continue to do more. We are pressured to do more because we haven't succeeded until the hunger in the land is brought down to the barest minimum, and everybody, every resident of Anambra can find something reasonable to eat at affordable prices. But we can do that if all of us get involved, if everybody do something. Government will continue. My government will continue. Like I said, about 2 weeks, start today with this 1,040,000 seedlings, palm seedlings, coconut seedlings, fruit, major delicacy this part of the world, bitter cola, pawpaw, and so on and so forth. Cola, cola, the Igbo cola, and so on and so forth. Several of them, and next year we'll be distributing another 1 million, as the case may be. And in 4 years, when they start fruiting, the average household with 10 of those seedlings will permanently be out of poverty, and new industries to come and send to the rest of the world are already imagined. That is on, but we must now get down to basic foods, cassava. We had the testimonial of I think the head of service who planted cassava, and now from the garri that she produces, she's a lawyer, the head of service of Anambra State. But from her farm, she produces enough cassava and garri to feed about 10 families, as the case may be. So let's do something. If everybody does something, then we're going to have it. We're providing more seedlings and inputs. And by the way, in Anambra, we're promoting organic farming, regenerative agriculture. We launched it 2 years ago. We're actually de-emphasizing the use of fertilizer in Anambra. For those who can't still do without it, we are going back to nature. We are going back to organic food, where because we live longer, we live healthier. My wife promotes healthy living, and therefore organic food is the way to go, ultimately. Leave no vacant space. We are going to be collaborating with communities, local governments, the churches, the schools, and so on and so forth on this Leave No Vacant Space campaign. We'll work out schemes for public servants to spare some time to farm and reward public servants with the biggest farm outputs, food or animal husbandry. We're going to be having prizes that we'll give to them because it will be next year, Operation Show You farm. Show where you are cultivating, whether in the balcony or anywhere. I am spoiling that I will take the first prize. I'm going to go back to farm. I am, anyway, some of you are ahead of me now, but we'll be catching up with you very soon. For our political appointees, it is the same thing. Operation Show Your Farm next year, and prizes will be won. All the appointees, you can see Deputy Governor, is will win. Farm champions, all the students, we've heard testimonies of two former, just fresh graduates who started farming from their student days. And from their farming, they actually saw themselves through school. And they are now graduating into big-time commercial farmers. We must mainstream this. So it's good to complain, but better to do something. To these two students who have done something, I think before I leave to see you and encourage you the more. Yeah, I will encourage you more. We must do something. Okay? We expect the local government chairmen to take the campaign down to their respective local governments as well. We expect the president generals of each community to take the campaign down to the various communities. We expect the church leaders to join us also on this campaign. I hear one of the dioceses in the state is actually mainstreaming the same campaign in the churches and so on and so forth. Let's just mainstream this everywhere. Ndị Anambra, Nigerians, we are Nigerians. Nigeria is the biggest black nation on earth. There is nothing we set our mind to do that we cannot achieve. If we mind to do it. If everybody takes responsibility. We have a saying in Igbo that aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ mmanụ. It's only by soiling your hand, going to the farm and soiling your hand, that you become entitled to have an oily mouth. That's the Igbo proverb. That's why Anambra is not protesting. Our people believe in hard work. We believe that if things are hard, we can do something about it. And that is what we have come today to encourage our people. Why commending them, our youths, for not taking to the street to just complain or protest? They have chosen to do something about it. Let us be the change that we want to see. If after decades of lamentations, we are now launching this program, same old story, decades of lamentations. We saw the civil war here in this part of Nigeria. There was nothing to eat. Kwashiorkor, people were dying of kwashiorkor, but we survived. We went through essential commodities era, hardship, queuing to buy essential commodities. Our people survived. And this time again, we'll say hunger in the land. We will not just survive, we will help to feed the rest of the country. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. We've seen far worse conditions before, and we are resilient people. We work hard. We take our destiny in our own hands, and by dint of hard work and dedication and commitment, we shall prevail. And Nigeria will realize its God-given potentials to be not just the greatest, the largest black nation on earth, we can do it. Let's work. Plan, protest, but very important, and here we launch this collective action and partnership with government on Farm to Feed Pro campaign. Farm to Feed campaign. All around me, I have the farms. You can't be around my wife and not see farms around you. And now, I think I have become converted myself, fully, that I will now get to the farm myself And by next year, I will show you in the Anambra and Nigeria, my own farm. I will ask you to come to my own farm next year. That's how we do something about it. Thank you very much. Let's get to work. And by the grace of God, we must prevail. Thank you, and God bless you. I think the next of it, we are going to just, there are things that will be distributed. There are seedlings. Seedlings. My wife launched it a few weeks ago, distributing seedlings she had distributed this to thousands of women. But this time, some are saying yes, some who have planted, the women who have planted, who have gotten this, she has been distributing these seedlings, vegetables, and so on and so forth. Now we want to mainstream this and distribute it to even greater number of the Anambra who to plant something. Are we ready to plant something?
Yeah.
Are we to farm to feed?
Yeah.
Are we ready to banish hunger?
Yeah.
Let's to action. Be the solution. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Anambra, solution abịago na Anambra, ka anyị kọọ ugbo ka nni dị azụ n'ọga solution abịago na Anambra. Solution abịago na Anambra, onye ọbụla na-akọba ugbo ka nni dị ka wee nwebe aṅụrị. Yeah, my brother. Hello. Ọ na-agba ugbo ka o tinye abacha ndị dị na Anambra unu emebiri ugbo. Hello. onye ọbụla jee kọba ugbo ọ ife gọvanọ anyị na-ekwu.
Operation Farm to Feed. Operation Farm to Feed.
Gọvanọ anyị na-ekezi seedlings.
Hello. Mr. Governor is leading a silent revolution. A revolution against hunger. Operation Farm to Feed. That is the new agenda.
Onye ọbụla konyiwe na onye ọbụla kọba ugbo
azụ ụlọ.
Soludo ezela bụ chale nwa mgbaba agwaga kọba ugbo ka nni dị. Onye ọbụla weta mma wepụ n'elu ụwa ka nni. Anambra yi n'abalị chale nwa mgbawo ekene m.
Operation Farm to Feed. That is the new normal in Anambra State. Courtesy of Mr. Governor, Professor Chukwuma, the solution innovator. Is a
welcome to Soludo. Jali wambawo ekenemo.
hello.
Solution Anambra dị anyị n'aka. Solution Anambra dị anyị n'aka. Anya na-emere demonstration na anyị na-agba mbọ. Anambra na-agba mbọ. Onye bụ ugbo ka Anambra wee si n'ike. Ka Anambra wee si n'ike n'aba n'ike. Jee n'azụ ụlọ be gị konye ugbo. Ọ bụrụ green konye onugbu na be gị. Nwunye Soludo wedelu wedelu ma. Solution ego. Solution Anambra abịago ka anyị kọba ugbo. Band ozugbo. Is okay, band. Band is okay. Thank you. That's enough. Thank you. Ozugo. Thank you very much. Please, gentlemen, at this juncture with Mr. Governor having carried out the symbolic planting exercise as well as the distribution of farm inputs, I now most respectfully invite us to be on our feet as we sing the national.